kings and 7. A lock, right? Wrong. Every Sunday I get murdered.
Well, it's all part of growing up. Just don't fall into any holes.
I don't think I want to grow up.
Good morning, sunshine.
One of your rejects, I take it.
Oh. Good morning, Juanita.
Good morning.
Oh, excuse me.
Let me help.
Now that I wouldn't mind going a fast 10 with.
Good morning, Mrs. Dorsey. You're entitled to your opinion, Mr. Tottenhouse.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Signal the operations room are open.
Main downtown branch vault opening, Mr. Wainwright.
Routine opening.
They signaled 4 shorts, not under duress. By the way, this telegram just arrived.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes, we received another telephone call today, Mrs. Dorsey. So scratch one more teller.
Flu?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Cliff, you'll be senior vault teller today, right?
Last I heard, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'll sign some of our junior management people, someone to the window. Probably me.
Mrs. Dorsey, the armored car is here from the central cash vault.
Thank you. I hope you brought us some cleaner money than we've been getting lately, Jim.
There's a lot of high-grade counterfeit around. Maybe I can get you a bundle or two.
That kind of help we don't need.
Message for you, Mrs. Dorsey. Marked urgent and confidential from Mr. Rosselli.
Well, thank you.
Nothing serious, I hope.
So do I. Let's get the show on the road, Mr. Tottenham.
Here's your bait money. Don't pay out any of it by mistake, or you'll have the whole police department down here. Opening time.
Another day, $1 million.
You're looking very well. Hello.
How do you do, sir?
Hey, you guys know what this is all about?
No, you?
Weena? No.
Hello, Alex.
Morning.
Wall to wall. What's this all about?
All I know is I got a telegram just like everybody else here. Presence requested, main boardroom, 12 noon, signed Ben Rosselli, first president, American Bank.
Vice presidents, the bookkeepers. There's old Pop Monroe. He's been here forever.
Oh, here.
Oh, I was showing you these key charge cards.
Now, how about that? Could you tell the counterfeit?
No way. Usually, you can tell by the quality of the plastic, but with these,
They're exactly alike.
They ought to be. They're made from authentic plastic sheets stolen from our supplier last month. Thieves broke into a strong room where the finished sheets were kept.
How many did they get?
300. And at 66 cards per sheet, you're talking close to 20,000 fraudulent cards.
Ooh. That could cost us a few dollars.
That could cost us $10 million minimum, unless we do something fast. Unless you do something fast, pal.
Well, I've got a man working undercover. Should come up with something.
Light a fire under them, please. We're in trouble. Hey, how about a large fire, huh? Right now, we're in a bad position.
Meaning what?
Meaning a lot of people were opposed to my hiring Nolan in the first place. They'd be very happy to let him go. Oh, look at this. Sherry.
Yes, sir. It's the Amontillado. Mrs. Dorsey?
No use passing up free booze, huh?
Thank you.
Who authorized that? You. Waiter.
Are you speaking to me, sir?
Yes, I am. A handy way to tell is by my eyes. When they're fixed on you, the chances are fairly good I'm addressing you. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes, sir.
Well?
Well, what, sir?
I'm asking you on whose authority you're passing out sherry. Can't you answer a simple question?
He's trying to, Roscoe, but you're fogging his glasses.
Alex? Your idea?
No. Yours?
Oh, no, sir. It was Mr. Roselli's idea. His direct orders. And he told me to be sure it's the best.
It's really excellent, Roscoe. You ought to try it.
You know I don't drink.
Roscoe don't drink, and Roscoe don't chew, and Roscoe don't go with the girls who do.
I hope you'll forgive me, Alex, if I don't find you particularly side-splitting this morning.
Roscoe.
Mr. Roselli.
Hello. Ah. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Hello. Glad you came. Hello. Fine. Hello. My old friend Jerome.
Hello, Ben.
Roscoe.
Hello, Ben.
Alex. How's your wife? Oh, she's not too bad, thank you. Edwina.
Mr. Roselli.
I'm glad you all could make it. Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Please make sure that everyone has a glass. Thank you, Nolan. Now, this won't take long. So if you like, ladies and gentlemen, sit down.
Is it a celebration of some kind?
No, I'm afraid not, Jerome. It's just an occasion when I thought a drink might help. I wanted to tell you this myself. It's bad news, but it's really no worse than the news that winter is coming or that time is passing. For me, it seems that winter is almost here, my friends, and that my time is almost gone. Now, I called you all here together, my oldest friends, so that you could hear it from me. Now, not to put too fine a point on it, it seems that I'm dying. It's definite. But don't be embarrassed. Dying isn't a social error. Sometimes it's a grace of God. The doctors tell me I have cancer. The lungs. So now you know. As and when you choose, you can pass the word along to the others. It's all right, Jerry.
I guess you pretty much floored us all, Mr. Ben. We don't know what to say.
Now, Ben, doctors' opinions are by no means infallible. Medical science can achieve a great deal toward halting or even curing.
I've been all through that, Roscoe. As to doctors, I've had the best. I told you, it's definite.
Well, there's still a higher power than medicine. It's not unknown for God to show mercy.
Don't lecture me, Roscoe. I guess we can safely assume that God has already made up his mind in my case. If I had a living son, still instead of an air medal in a box, I'd be passing this bank on to him now, as my father did to me and his father before him. But that wasn't to be. So who do I turn it over to? Jerry Patterton's retiring next year, and that leaves the other two senior executive vice presidents, Roscoe Hayward and Alex Vandervoort. Which will it be? I'm leaving it up to the board of directors to name the man who will be my successor, and I'm certain that they will choose wisely. And now I'd like to shake hands with everyone. Roscoe. Edwina. Thank you.
Ben?
Alex, remember me to see you.
I will.
Huh? Jerry. Don't forget the old times, huh? Nice to see you, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Layton. George. Tom. Tom, look. I'm coming back next week. I'm going to check along.
Miss Callahan, get me every member of the board of directors on the phone.
Yes, sir.
Beginning with Harold Austin.
I have Harold Austin on one, Mr. Hayward.
Harold? It's Roscoe Hayward. Harold, I've just had a shocking bit of information, and I felt that you, as a member of our board of directors, should be told about it.
Wait a minute. If this is about Ben Roselli's health, I've heard the rumor.
He's terminal.
Is that confirmed?
His own words.
Well, who's moving up?
Mr. Roselli didn't name his successor. He's leaving that to the board of directors.
It's between you and Alex Vandervoort, of course.
Yes. And I must tell you that I feel that Alex would make a first-rate president.
Are you, lobbying for him, Roscoe?
Well, no, of course not. I'm against him, naturally. But not for the reasons that you might suspect. It isn't just his unorthodox private life that bothers me, although I suspect it might explode in his face one day. It's the fact that I just feel he might be a little emotional. Do you agree?
Well, let's get back to his unorthodox private life.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew about it. I wouldn't have mentioned it.
Refresh my memory.
Well, there's this rather awkward problem with his wife, of course, compounded by the fact that he's all but living with another woman. It's a potentially explosive situation. Not helped a bit by the fact that she's a notorious left-wing activist. No doubt that's where he's been getting some of his latest ideas. Listen, Harold, I've got to go. Awfully sad news. I'm sorry, but I just felt that you should be in on the ground floor, so to speak.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Roscoe.
Talk to you later, Harold.
I have Lloyd Lafreniere on two, Mr. Hayward.
Lloyd. Roscoe Hayward. Lloyd. I've just had a shocking bit of information, and I felt that you, as a member of our board of directors, should be told about it.
How about lunch?
Already spoken for, and already late.
Anybody we know?
Our favorite revolutionary.
Well, you buy her a decent meal. She's working herself to a nub down there.
Well, it's not easy being Joan of Arc.
No, listen, I've talked to the store owner. He's willing to forget the whole thing. Thanks, Marty. I'll be right with you, darling. Pablo, they're going to drop the charges. You can keep the jacket, but you've got to work it off here after school. Okay?
Muchas gracias, senora.
senorita. Well, you can't win them all. Shall we?
I've got Jack Mitchell on the phone. Is there anything you want to tell him?
Yes, tell him unless he's in full compliance with the housing code, and I mean adequate heating in every one of these units by the first of the week, I'm going to sue his tail off. I'm on a fast track today.
You don't have to do it standing up.
Margot? Hey, senorita.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about Ben. Can't seem to get it into my head. I remember talking to him last Christmas. There's so much he still wanted to do.
Yeah, a man like Ben Roselli deserves a better monument than this. Obsolete, inadequate.
What we need are more projects here, bigger and better.
We've got them. In the planning stage right now.
That's probably just where they're going to stay, too.
Not as long as I have something to say about it.
Will you?
And that depends.
On what?
It's going to be one hell of a power fight at the bank.
Oh, between you and Roscoe Hayward. How much of a chance do you have?
I don't know if I can get the majority of the board to see it my way. You know, profits are what banks are all about, but this kind of thing, long-term, low-yield, low-profit investment, don't look so hot on the balance sheet at the end of the year, but we got to have them.
For the good of the corporate souls,
For our survival. If banks are deaf to the signals people are putting out, we might start hearing when it's too late. Well, I can always be president of a bowling alley, and you can set up pins for me.
Now leave me alone! Don't you! Get it, man! Get it, Shorty, get it! Hey, get him! Head him off, come on! No, leave me alone, what's wrong with you? Come on, man, hurry up! Get him, Shorty! Come on, man! Come on, head him off! Watch out, Snake! Watch out, man! Catch him! Get him off, man! I got him! Come on! I got him! Hold it there! Hold it! Got it! Yeah, we got him now!
You ain't gonna mess with me.
The bread, man. Get it up.
When I done told you.
Hey, young blood, didn't you hear what the man said?
I got no bread.
I hope that ain't true.
All right, that's it.
Say what?
I said let the boy go.
Say, mister, lend me $1. See, 'cause that's all we gotta have is $1.
Lend you $1 means you pay me back, right? On the other hand, I think we can negotiate a tax-deductible donation to your favorite charity.
Hey,
You wouldn't want to cut your buddy, would you? I'll turn you loose. And I'll give you the $1 I promised. But please don't try it again. All I have to do to you what I did to Muhammad Ali.
Ali?
Of course, I was younger then, and he was only 9 years old.
All right. What's going on here? Huh? What's happening?
You dig this? Man's trying to mug me.
You don't give him that.
Promise is a promise. Here.
All right, you got something. Now split.
Crazy!
Are you all right?
Well, blood pressure a little high, but otherwise okay.
This is a friend of mine, Alex Vandervoort. Alex, this is Dan Euphrates, the deacon.
Deacon of what?
Nothing in particular. The project, I suppose.
No, he's president of the Tenants Association. Alex is a vice president of FMA.
They might have changed their mind if you hadn't come in when you did, so thanks.
You can thank him a lot better by building more projects down
My
here.
resolution of the year. Happens too much, doesn't it?
Every day. Comes from those rat cages over there.
Exactly what we'd like to rebuild.
Well, Mr. Vice President, if you don't, just remember, there are a lot of little kids growing up all the time, growing up to be like the ones you just met. See you.
Thanks, Deacon.
Yeah. They're getting bigger and stronger and hating the world every morning they wake up.
She left a message.
What's the message?
Some doctor wants you to call her back. I put it here someplace.
Was it McCartney, Dr. McCartney?
That's right. She wants you to call her sometime today. It's important.
Thank you.
You want a phone from here?
No. Later.
Excuse me, ma'am. This window's closed. Mr. Easton, Miles,
Thank you. Yes, Juanita, what can I do for you?
there's some money missing from my cash truck.
How much?
$6,000.
What did you say?
I said my cash truck is missing $6,000.
So she ran a balance. And then Mr. Tottenhoe and I each ran a balance in her presence. And same total each time, 6,000 to the penny.
Come in. Mr. Wainwright, this is Miles Easton, our assistant operations officer.
How do you do?
And this is Mrs. Nunez. Tell her who's had the loss.
Mr. Nunez, I'm Nolan Wainwright. We'll just set this here. We want to get a statement, you see, but I want you to know we're on your side.
I don't have any side. I haven't done anything. That's all I know.
Well, $6,000 is missing from your cash truck. You know that, don't you?
Yes?
Now, have you any idea how it happened?
No.
Now, think carefully. Did you have a TX with anybody today?
No, no exchanges, not today.
What about your bait money?
It wasn't touched.
Which probably points to someone right here at the bank.
I appreciate it if you'd wait with your comments, Mr. Easton.
Oh.
Now, think carefully, Mrs. Nunez. Did you notice anybody else on the staff, anybody at any time at all, anywhere near your cash truck?
No, not that I noticed.
Are you positive, Juanita? Now think.
Mr. Easton, please. I appreciate your help. I'll get to you in a minute. All right, now let's see. No teller exchange, no loiterers that you noticed. Do you think it's possible that you could have made a mistake, that you overpaid a customer by $6,000?
No, I don't think that's possible.
Then what do you suppose happened to the money?
I don't know.
When did you discover that?
After lunch.
How long after lunch?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Before you went to lunch, you put your cash truck in the vault?
As always.
Close the combination lock?
Always.
You're sure?
I always close the combination lock.
And the operations officer's lock?
Left open as always.
And that would be perfectly normal. You see, once the operations officer's combination has been set to open, we normally leave it that way all day.
Does anyone else know your combination?
No.
Ever told it to anyone?
No.
Your husband?
I'm separated from my husband.
Where is he now?
I don't know. What does my husband have to do with this?
Mrs. Nunez, did you ever write your combination down anywhere?
No, 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 no!
All right. Now, let's go back over this. You see, I just got it briefly over the phone. Now, I understand you just realized the money was missing. How did you come to discover that?
I counted the cash in my drawer.
And you knew you were $6,000 short.
That's right.
You knew what your balance should be.
Yes,
You always know that figure?
within $1 or so.
You mean when you're handling $25,000, $30,000 a day, you always know what your cash balance should be within $1 or two?
Yes.
How do you manage that?
I don't know. I just do it.
Is that usual?
No, not that I know of.
Can you do that, Mr. Easton?
I have to tell you, Mr. Wainwright, I'm not too crazy about the way you're handling this.
When did you say you last saw your husband?
What do you keep bringing your husband up for?
No particular reason, but just for the record. The simplest way for a teller to get a large sum of money out of a bank is to hand it to an accomplice. You know, just pass it over like a legitimate transaction.
Oh, is that what you're accusing her of?
I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but this is a federal bank, and sooner or later, probably sooner, the FBI is going to be brought in, and when that happens, it's out of my hands. And I suggest if you have anything to say, you tell me now, before the federal boys get here.
I didn't take the money, and I'm sick of these questions.
Well, you're going to get a damn sight sicker before the FBI is finished.
And I'm getting damn sick of these Gestapo tactics, Wainwright.
Easton, I've asked you, now I'm telling you, butt out.
I think we're all very tired, Mr. Wainwright.
Well, you're probably right, Mrs. Dorsey. We'll wrap it up for today.
My story will be the same tomorrow and the day after and the day after that.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll think of something you forgot.
I've told you the truth, all of it.
Then you won't mind taking a lie detector test, will you?
What?
Bank will arrange it. We have a man we've used before. I'll set it up.
No, I won't take such a test.
Why not?
Buster, call me Palabra. I take no test.
Pretty girl, Mrs. Nunez. Wonder why her husband up and left her.
I don't know. Maybe she left him.
You ever take her out?
Yes, we went out a couple of times last summer. Had lunch in the mall.
I see.
If that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a train.
Of course it is. There's no engine? No?
No, that's a bagoose. There's a man inside.
Caboose, amorcito.
Estela, look at your hands.
Estela, go inside and get ready to go home.
Miss Nunez, as a special favor to you, I agreed to keep Estela here longer than the other children, but this is far too late.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Farrow. Something happened at the bank.
Other parents were too, but they seem to be able to remember school closing time.
It won't happen again, Mrs. Farrow, I promise.
Okay, then. But now that we have this moment together.
Oh, if it's last month's bill.
I know things been very difficult for you. It's not easy for a woman alone.
I'll be able to pay the whole thing Friday.
I'm sorry I have to mention this, but you understand I got bills to pay, too.
You'll have it all, everything I owe.
Mama!
My hands are clean. See? See?
Amorcito.
Beatrice?
In here. I'm dining with the Cawthorns. That charity business. You haven't changed your mind about going.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. I'll have something to eat a little later on my own. Company, I see.
Susie Neiman dropped by.
And how is Susie?
Well, she was saying it might be nice if we all went to Rome this summer. Or to Paris. Or someplace.
That was nice of her. And what did you tell her?
I told her we couldn't afford it.
Now, that was thoughtful of you. Phil Neiman will have that all over town by tomorrow morning.
Well, it's the truth.
The truth is relative.
Isn't that what you're always telling me? We can't afford this, we can't afford that. We can't afford to live on $75,000 a year.
In the first place, it is not $75,000 a year. Income taxes cut the gross amount down to about a third, say $24,000. First and second mortgage on the house, another $26,000. Municipal taxes, about $2,500 more. That leaves $23,000. That is $450 a week for all other expenses, including food, clothing, insurance, repairs.
The gardener, he says our sprinkler system is terminal.
The cook, gas, light, water, the gardener, the pool man, the phone.
You didn't mention your golf caddies, clubs, green fees.
Yes, and I also didn't mention your manicures, pedicures, massages, hair, beauty parlor, yearly trips to Washington to do whatever it is you do in connection with the DAR. I don't know.
My father was right. You have the soul of an accountant.
I didn't realize your father disapproved of me.
Oh, he didn't exactly disapprove. He just felt that you were vanilla pudding.
It didn't seem to deter him from borrowing money from me.
My father was something that no businessman can ever hope to understand, darling. He was a man of style, breeding. Yes? It's Harold Austin, for you.
Style. Breeding. I'll take it in the bedroom.
come right on, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Roscoe. I'm over here at the office thinking about who's going to be the next president over there at FMA.
Well, Harold, as one of the most influential members of the board, your input is pretty valuable.
I won't beat around the bush, Roscoe. I've been going over a list of board of directors.
Yes, and?
Well, it seems to me the support for you and Alex is about 50-50, wouldn't you agree?
Just about. There are a couple of swing votes, including your own.
Personally, Roscoe, I'd have a strong tendency to vote your way, except for one very big question mark.
Which is?
Well, I wear two hats, Roscoe. One says member board of directors, FMA. When I'm wearing that hat, well, I like you a lot.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that.
But I got this other hat, you see. It says President Austin Advertising Company. When I'm wearing that, you make me very nervous.
Oh?
Frankly, I'd be very uncomfortable at FMA if I thought we were going to have a president who was less than totally sold on the effectiveness of advertising.
Uh-huh. Well, it's strange you should mention that. I've just been giving some thought to our advertising.
You have?
Yes, I've only got one complaint. There's not enough of it. I'd like to see FMA's image enhanced over a much wider area.
Are you talking about an increased advertising budget?
Well, if I were in charge, I'd double it.
I can't tell you how you've eased my mind, Roscoe.
Glad to hear it.
Incidentally, I'm sending the dummies for the new key charge campaign over for your okay. It's got a nice little religious angle I think you're gonna like.
I'm sure I will, Harold. And Harold, anytime you want my input, I'm as close as the phone.
I think we understand each other, Roscoe.
Nice chatting to you, Harold. Come in.
What was that? About you being president of the bank?
Aren't we glad we've eavesdropped on some good news? Yes. It's a strong possibility.
It's also about time. See you in the morning.
Salary is $120,000 a year. Even you ought to be able to skimp by on that.
Mr. Vanderwood.
I spoke to the doctor this afternoon. She asked me to come out.
Yes, I know. Would you come this way?
Celia? Celia? Listen to me, Celia. It's your husband. He's come to visit you.
Hello, honey. How are you?
I'm so glad you could make it. She's becoming more withdrawn. Her escape from reality is almost total. That's why I felt a visit from you could do some good, but at least it can't do any harm.
How long has she been like that?
Yesterday and today.
What can I do?
Just talk.
About what?
About everyday things, where you've been, who you've seen. Stop by before you leave.
Hello, honey.
That's a pretty hair ribbon. Won't you turn and look at me? Shall we talk? Then I'll talk, okay? Let's see what's been going on. Oh, the ballet. I went last week. It was Coppelia with Natalia Marakova and, what's his name? You like him. Ivan something, remember?
Naj.
That's right. Naj. Do you remember when we first saw it, Coppelia? It was just after we were married. Remember? We went with Edwina and Louis Dorsey. And you wore that green dress I like so much.
Siobhan.
That's right. Oh, I saw Edwina this morning. She asked about you.
Edwina?
Yeah, Edwina Dorsey. That's right, darling. She was at a meeting today, meeting at the bank, the boardroom. Oh, you remember Ben Mazzelli, don't you? Well, I'm sorry to say that Ben's been very ill.
Ivan, Naj.
Well, Ben's retiring, and what
The green chiffon.
Well, darling, what Ben's retirement means is that there'll be a new president of FMA. And... Celia. What's wrong? Stop it. Please stop that. Look, Celia, now stop it. Control yourself. Now, don't... Celia. I'm sorry, Celia. Forgive me.
You might say her general diagnosis is the same, schizophrenia of the catatonic type. And though you may find this very hard to believe, she's relatively happy.
Yes, I do find that hard to believe.
Well, happiness is relative. She's out of it, the rat race. For some people, that's enough.
And the prognosis?
Oh, you're getting pretty good with the jargon.
Well, after 4 years, you learn a little, especially about psychiatrists.
Tell me about psychiatrists.
Well, they tend to change the subject when the prognosis is negative.
You do pay attention, don't you?
Look, doctor, I want to know where I stand.
As I told you, she's happy. The world, responsibility, day-to-day relationships with other people, they all became too much for her, so she withdrew. She's found a place where she can exist in relative peace.
My fault.
In a way, yes.
What'd I do?
It isn't what you did, it's what you are. Ambitious, active, social. She's reclusive, shy. Your lifestyle made demands on her that she couldn't cope with. So she broke. But in my opinion, she would have broken sooner or later, no matter who she was married to.
She's deteriorating, isn't she?
To a certain degree, yes.
What are her chances?
I'm not a bookmaker. I don't quote odds on people.
Now, look, Dr. McCartney, I want to know now. Is there any reasonable chance of a recovery? Will she ever lead a normal life again? Will she ever come home with me?
In medicine, there's always the possibility.
I said reasonable chance.
Come and have a drink.
Does she care about me?
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess no. Not the way you mean. Not in the normal sense. We talk about you a lot. She knows who you are. But as a wife cares about her husband, no.
Here's a tougher one. What would happen if she learns that her husband divorced her and remarried?
In my opinion, such a thing would represent a total break with the outside world. And it could possibly, probably, drive her over the brink into a totally demented state.
Plain answers you want.
Plain answers you get.
I could be wrong.
I doubt it.
So do I.
What does a man do?
Is that rhetoric, or do you expect an answer?
That's a question. You can put it on my bill.
I don't have an answer. It depends on the man. However, decent men have a habit of punishing themselves more harshly than's called for. Don't try to be a saint. Most of us can't. Then we crack too.
That's it. That's all you can tell me.
All but this. You try to figure out what's best for everybody concerned, everybody. And once you've made your decision, then you try to live with it.
Surprise.
You don't mind, do you?
Nicest surprise all day.
I'd almost forgotten what it looks like. Is it broken?
No, it ticks too loud. Trouble with antiques.
You sure you don't mind?
I'm delighted.
I said to myself, it's been too long already. Do you know how long it's been? 10 days.
11. But who's counting? I am. I could stand a drink.
I'll get you one.
Thanks.
How is she? Rather not talk about it?
Later.
I was just looking at those, your latest key charge campaigns.
Yeah, not mine. Harold Austin's. He sent him over for my approval.
Was that usual?
No, thank you. He's fishy. As a director, his vote could possibly swing it between me and Roscoe Hayward, so he's looking for a quid pro quo.
Such as?
Increased advertising budget.
You give it to him?
Maybe. The good old American way. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
And that's morality, I suppose.
I'm beginning to wonder what I ever did before I had you for moral guidance.
Look at this junk. Why wait? You can afford tomorrow's dream today.
Is that so terrible? Enjoy something nice, a TV, a car?
Sure, everybody gets a chance at the American dream. And deeper in debt.
It's a system.
Stinks. Pay as you go is like being a perpetual blood donor.
Come on.
You think it's okay to tempt people beyond their ability to resist?
I think people should be allowed to make their own decisions, run their own lives, no matter how qualified you might feel to do it for them.
I see the results of this every day. Broken homes. Men taking off because they're so deeply in debt there's no hope for them. This kind of thing does actual damage to people, to families.
Tell me about it.
You sound as if you don't care.
Well, knock it off, Margot. I was 10 years old when I walked in the barn one morning and saw my father hanging by a rope from the rafter. Letter of foreclosure from the bank lying in the straw. The night of the funeral, I threw a brick through the plate glass window of the bank. I always felt they knew, but nothing was ever said. Hard-hearted bankers. Well, one way to change that image is to be a different kind of banker. To remember that there are people behind those numbers and legal clauses. People. I don't want them in debt, but just imagine if everybody had to pay cash for everything. Work, save, buy a TV. Stop working again, save, buy a car. And a house. Just imagine how many people could live in a house if they had to pay cash.
I surrender.
I wasn't really fighting. Just trying to find answers.
Dynamite.
You're just saying.
No, it's true.
Banker's honor?
I swear by the prime rate.
Okay.
Marvelous. Incredible.
It's a new recipe.
I don't mean the soup, lady.
You get your mind on the right track.
Well, it's an effort, but all right. What'd you put in it?
Saffron.
Saffron. Why?
Because I like the color.
I like the color. Stay with me tonight.
I have to be in court early in the morning.
I'll set the alarm for 6.
Set it for 5:30. We can start the day off right.
You're really something. Out of sight. Isn't that what they say?
Please don't bother learn it, because by the time the squares are saying it, they've changed it anyway.
Are you telling me I'm square?
Some of my best friends are.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want him to marry your sister, would you?
My bet.
Margot, we better talk.
You spoke to Dr. McCartney tonight,
Had quite a conversation.
About Celia?
Everything.
And?
Well, she tells me that Celia doesn't care about me in a normal sense, like a wife cares about her husband, but that my visits give her, what? Security. I'm supportive.
What'd she say about, well, what would happen if you were to marry again? Alex?
Well, she says it would probably drive her over the edge.
I see.
It's about as bad as it gets. I've seen them. They lie in bed, their eyes blank, nothing. They can't do anything for themselves, you know. Every few hours, an attendant comes in and moves them.
You can't divorce her. There's just no way.
And no future. Just hot soup and sex in front of a fireplace isn't fair to you.
Could be worse.
She's not sick, you know, physically.
But she could probably stay that way for years.
That's right. What does that do to you?
Oh, I'll love you and sleep with you and cook soup for you.
And move in with me?
I don't think the board of directors is ready for that quite yet, do you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Nunez, sorry.
I've told you everything I know.
Now, this won't take a moment. You're saying that on a normal day when you're handling $25,000, $30,000, cash withdrawals, deposits, in and out, you always know exactly how much money's in your cash drawer.
Within $1 or so.
In other words, you keep a sort of running balance in your head.
Yes.
Interesting. Very unusual. You know many other tellers who can do that?
I only know I can do it.
In that case, you know how much money's in the drawer right now. Mrs. Nunez, would you be good enough to write that figure down for me, please? And close and lock your cash truck. Oh, Mr. Tottenhove. See you for a moment, please. There's a check.
$23,765.
On the nose.
It's like she has a little adding machine in her head.
It doesn't automatically clear Nunez. She could have an adding machine in her head and still be a thief.
Makes the story a lot more credible, and you know it.
Well, if not her, who? Someone who knows bank procedures.
Probably somebody at the bank.
Who needs money badly. What we're looking for is someone in a financial bind.
Headquarters audit staff.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnside. When I asked for an examination of staff accounts, I didn't expect this.
We decide when, where, and how to audit, Mrs. Dorsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a full-scale audit. There will be an extra cash counting tonight. Vault reserve cash will be checked. All accountants and tellers will be required to stay until their records are listed and balanced. Is that clear? Now, will you all please return to your stations?
Seal all the cash trucks. Well, let you and I get to work, Mrs. Dorsey. Let's start with the deposit accounts, time and demand. We'll start with demand.
Certainly.
Dorsey,
Could we see you in private a moment?
Of course.
Upstairs.
Oh, Mrs. Dorsey. This is Mrs. Dorsey, the manager of the bank, Mr. Innes, FBI.
How do you do?
I was just explaining to these gentlemen that as a result of your suggestion, we've made an investigation of the personal checking accounts of all the employees.
And what have you found?
An awful lot more than we've been looking for, I'm afraid. Someone has been systematically embezzling large sums from the dormant accounts.
I see. Do you have a total figure on the money involved?
So far, we've pinpointed $10,000.
Tomorrow, we'll have access to some old records on microfilm. That should up the total.
Do you have any idea who it is?
We have one good possibility.
Who?
We wouldn't want to say until we have more to go on. But the audit of the personal checking accounts indicates that one of our people is paying to 3 separate finance companies.
That's hardly against the law.
True, but it becomes interesting when the total sum of the payments exceeds the monthly salary.
I see.
It still doesn't put us any farther ahead as far as the missing $6,000 cash goes.
No, but the natural supposition is that whoever stole the cash is the same person who embezzled from the dormant accounts. Now, there's no guarantee, but I think I can lock it up tonight if I have freedom to move.
We were just about to knock off anyway. 2 things, Wainwright. A, don't bring me any bruised potatoes. B, don't you fumble.
Good evening, Mr. Easton.
What are you doing here, Wainwright?
Waiting for you.
Okay, who let you in?
How much did you steal today, embezzler?
You're making a big mistake, Wainwright. False accusation is a serious crime.
Come on, it's over. We know all about the milked accounts. The 3 finance companies you're paying off, and we know you stole the $6,000 from Nunez's cash box.
Well, that would take a considerable amount of proving.
Think so?
Yes, I do.
Not a bad job for an amateur. Took me all of 20 minutes to find it.
So that's why Dorsey kept finding things for me to do down at the bank.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're pretty good, Wainwright.
I'm supposed to be good. It's my business.
I suppose you've counted it.
6,000 exactly. I told you. I do this for a living. Now, you try that again, and I'll bust you in half.
Okay, let me out, please.
All right, now let's talk.
About what?
Let's start with the 6,000. How'd you work it?
You tell me.
All right. A few years ago, for a first offense white-collar crime like embezzlement, you wouldn't have done 5 minutes. Today, you're looking at prison. Time, and a lot of it.
You're breaking my arm.
You've got one chance to help yourself, and that's cooperation.
Okay, what do you want?
How'd you get the money out of her cash trunk? Go on.
I just took it out of her cash truck at lunchtime.
In the vault?
That's right.
She didn't lock it?
I knew her combination.
How'd you get it?
I've been watching her for a couple of months now. I pick it up a number at a time.
You really are a...
Look, I had to have the money.
Don't you know they might have sent her away?
Yes, but I had to have the money.
Why?
Because I owe it.
Who else are you on the hook to besides a finance company? Loan shark book?
Yes.
Which?
Both.
All right, so you knew the combination. How did you do it?
When I took my lunch break, I put my cash truck next to hers in the vault. I Came back early. Vault teller let me in. There was nobody else there, so I just opened her cash truck and took it out. 3 stacks of bills, $6,000. That was it.
So while all the questioning was going on, the Gestapo bit and all, you had the money right on you.
That's right.
I think that's cute, huh?
I think I've got a nosebleed. Could I get some ice, please?
Go ahead. What's in the ledger? Bets?
Yeah.
Horses?
No. Football. Basketball. I had a system.
Some system. Easton!
Maybe we can work something out.
Shut up. Just shut up. What it really amounts to is blackmail.
Spelled Justice.
You're threatening us with unpleasant publicity.
I'm getting you off the hook, darling, you and that bank. Where do you come off tape recording that girl's testimony? I don't know where you've been since 1966, but she has some rights. You have heard of the Miranda decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you know it's illegal to use coercive influences.
Have I ever been coercive with you?
I am serious. What do you people think you're running down there? The Third Reich?
Nolan Wainwright isn't strictly an officer of the law. He has certain latitudes.
I'm ashamed of Nolan Wainwright for his part in this, and I'm ashamed of you. And I'm ashamed of me for letting you off the hook for a lousy $2,000.
Hey, now, let me remind you, Counselor, I hired Wainwright. I hired Juanita Nunez. So please don't tell me how bad I should feel. Mrs. Nunez, I want you to know that the bank is sorry. No, not the bank, me. I personally am very sorry for the treatment you received at our hands.
It was all right.
No, it wasn't. And if anything remotely like this happens again, you come and see me.
Me first.
This is enough, just enough to get my bills paid.
Mrs. Nunez, do you mind a personal word of advice?
Of course not.
There's no need for you to ever be over your head again. You've got a steady job. It's just a matter of restraint, you know, not buying everything at once, hi-fi, TV.
My husband, Carlos, bought these things.
I see.
Yes, somebody sent him a key charge card. So he goes out and buys everything. New suits, stove, television, everything. Couch, the rug.
Well, why didn't you stop him?
Why didn't you? It's easy credit. And on the radio and every place you look, signs say buy, buy, buy. What do you expect? You should have stopped him.
No, 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 no! I want the guitars in the clear, then the harp. Is that so difficult, Walter? If it is, tell me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Austin. Okay, are we ready for a take?
Let me get a level on the chicken.
The chicken, please.
Give the lady an Oscar.
All right, let's roll for a take. Key charge commercial 10. Take 15.
Here, chick, 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 chick. Here, chick, 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 chick. Hey, Ma, did the mailman get here?
He's been and gone and brung us a key charge card.
Key charge? What's that?
Key charge. It's like dying and going to heaven.
Why wait for heaven when you can have your heart's desire right here on earth?
No, 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 no. You're still not getting it. No, I think the harp needs an echo chamber.
Well, no problem.
Oh, wait, maybe a choir. What, do you think a choir? Does that make sense?
Harold, excuse me. May I speak to you for a moment?
Well, to what do we owe this honor?
Well, I'm afraid it's bad news. We're reevaluating the campaign.
Oh? What does that mean?
Well, it means the campaign's been canceled. It's called off. I'm sorry about it, Harold.
Sorry? 6 months sweat down the tube, and you say you're sorry? That's supposed to be it?
The campaign's wrong, Harold.
Just a minute, excuse me. May I ask a question here?
I get the feeling you're going to.
Just who is it that you think you are? Barging in here, throwing around edicts. I personally okayed this campaign last month, and so incidentally did you.
Yeah, maybe I did, but the campaign is now out.
Yes, but that doesn't sit on your shoulders. You don't have the authority.
But Ben Roselli does.
You mean you went to see a dying man to bother him about this?
Because I felt it was important. So did he.
But what about me?
Harold Austin won't be hurt.
What? I mean, you seem to be suffering from a diminished capacity to make sense. I mean, how could Harold Austin not be hurt to have the entire campaign thrown back into his face, not to mention the cost?
No, we're absorbing the cost.
By we, you mean the bank? The stockholders? Or were you planning on covering it with a personal check? I thought not. Apparently, your high-mindedness has its limits. You're very liberal when dispersing the bank's profits.
Well, there are things more important than profits, Roscoe.
I'm sure the board will be interested in that statement.
I know you won't forget to mention it. Look, and Harold, next time try for a little more restraint. Remember, we're a bank, not a fried chicken franchise.
It's possible that our friend, Mr. Vandervoort, made a rather serious tactical error today.
I'd call it fatal.
Mr. Hayward.
Excuse me, Mr. Hayward. I'm Lou Endicott, financial reporter for the Chronicle.
Oh, yes, Mr. Endicott. How are you? I read your column.
I'm saddened and reluctant to intrude on you on the day of the funeral. I respected Mr. Rosselli a lot for what he did and what he wanted to do.
It's a terrible loss for all of us.
I won't take 5 minutes. I'm tracking down a rumor.
Very well, by all means, come in.
Thank you.
Now, this rumor you're tracking down, Mr. Endicott, what does it concern?
The next president of FMA, Mr. Hayward. The word is that the board of directors is split between you and Alex Vandervoort. A hopeless deadlock.
Could you tell me your source?
Absolutely not.
Well, whoever it is wrong. There's no deadlock, not any longer.
Oh, so who's the winner?
I guess there's no harm in letting it out. To be official on Monday, the board came to an agreement last night. There's a compromise, President.
Who?
Jerry Patterson. He's agreed to serve on a temporary basis until the time of his mandatory retirement in 7 months.
Then the presidency is still up for grabs until next summer.
Don't be surprised when Roscoe Hayward grabs it.
I see we're in for an interesting winter. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you really believe that?
What?
That I'll get the presidency?
Listen, I'm the 7th son of a 7th son, and believe me, I won't rest until we both personally nail Vandervoort's pelt to the outhouse door.
Well, any suggestions to that end will certainly be entertained.
As a matter of fact, I was working on something with an old client and friend.
Oh? In my behalf?
Well, I was going to sound you out on it next week after things had gelled a little more.
Well, why not sound me out on it now?
Well, how would you feel about a tie-up between FMA and George Quartermain's outfit?
Supernational? That'd be quite a feather in anyone's cap.
It'd be a whole damn war bonnet.
Quartermain. Just, what sort of a man is this Quartermain?
Oh, he's just a normal, everyday billionaire. He's anxious to meet you.
Is that so?
As a matter of fact, he mentioned us flying down to the Bahamas for a little golf and a chat.
Well.
What do you think?
Well. No, I'll let you know when I have a look at his latest statements.
This country should be in the shape George Quartermain's in. Roscoe, believe me, you walk into that boardroom with a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate in your pocket. Alex Vandervoort might as well jump into the same hole with Ben Roselli.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, the audit indicated that Miles, Mr. Easton, was deeply in debt. He'd been paying off 3 loan companies and a sum higher than his monthly salary.
Let me ask you another question, Mrs. Dorsey. What would have happened to Mrs. Nunez if the money had never been recovered?
It's a policy of the bank. When a teller has a loss like that, $6,000, that the teller is let go.
So in attempting to incriminate Mrs. Nunez...
Objection, Your Honor. It has not been proven that the defendant tried to incriminate.
Overruled. The evidence before this court clearly indicates an attempt to thrust blame for his own malfeasance onto an innocent and unsuspecting person, a young woman, moreover, who trusted him as a superior.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorsey. The prosecution would like to call Mrs. Juanita Nunez to the stand.
No.
No, wait a minute.
It's out of order.
I just want to say something.
The defense attorney will kindly restrain his client.
There is no use going through with any more of this. I took the
is out
money.
of order.
I'm guilty.
I will
All
not
want to
have
do is
this
get
in this
over
court.
with.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to consult with my client?
Please do.
May I approach the bench, Your Honor? My client would like to change his plea to one of guilty.
Be seated.
Since you waived the jury, I declare the change of plea will be permitted. The defendant will be remanded into custody for sentencing the 22nd of December. Court is adjourned.
Juanita. Juanita, I have to talk to you.
I don't think she's interested.
Mrs. Dorsey. I'm sorry. Would you tell her I'm sorry?
So am I.
I think we can make a deal.
What's that?
The prosecutor's office is interested in organized crime in this town, especially gambling. I think I can get you probation in return for your cooperating. Listen, Easton, you better pay attention. You're going up on 4 counts of embezzlement unless you show this judge some real sign of penitence.
How?
You're gonna have to cooperate. You helped them get the bookmaker, you're off the hook.
No. No cooperation.
You're not gonna like Drummondberg.
I said no.
I tried.
This way, Easton.
Oh, Mrs. Nunez,
What do you want?
I'd like to talk to you.
Excuse me, please.
Now, look, I have never found it easy to say I'm sorry.
Then why bother?
Look, you make it a lot easier on me if you just stand still a minute.
All right. I'm still.
I'm sorry I was so rough on you. I was wrong. And you had the benefit of the doubt coming, at the very least.
Are you finished?
You had a right to expect better from me. And I had a right to expect better from you. I'm really sorry.
Now you feel better. You've had your little aspirin.
Look, maybe I can help you.
Oh? How do you plan to do that?
Well, I could get you maintenance, child support from your husband.
Oh?
It's not too complicated. Now, look, I wish you would let me do something for you.
You still think you owe me a favor?
No, I do.
Then the favor that you can do for me is to forget it.
What do you got, LaRocca?
Fresh fish.
Easton, huh? What the hell are you in here for?
Embezzlement, 4 counts.
You can forget everything you learned over at orientation. You're in with the big boys now. Keep your nose clean. Maybe someday you'll live long enough to walk out of here. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Well, blink or grunt or do something, boy. Don't just stand there. 101, 4 block.
Hey, boys, we got us some fresh fish.
What's in here, man?
What you in for, Mom? Hey, what they got you for?
Hey, well, right here. What you looking at? Hey, over here. Hey.
Here you go.
Hey, come here.
Who's that guy?
A lifer. Calls his name. 2 counts of murder. Stay away from him.
Why?
He's the baddest cat in the joint, that's why.
Well, be it ever so humble.
Hey, listen. Sit down. I want to talk to you.
What is it?
I got a message for you.
From whom?
Some friends of mine. Some people who know you kept your mouth shut and appreciate it. The word is this. That $6 grand you owe, the clock has stopped.
What?
The vigorish is off, you understand?
You mean I still owe the money, but don't have to pay the compound interest, right?
Right. The clock is stopped as long as you're in the joint.
And when I get out?
You come see me. Hey, you got friends you don't even know you have.
Who are they?
You'll see. You come see me, Jules LaRocca. You know Tyler Street?
Yeah.
There's a place there called 7-7 Club. Can you remember that?
Sure, 7-7.
Look, kid, you keep your nose clean. You'll be out of here in 8 months. You can stand damn near anything for 8 months. Here they come. Take it easy. And remember, Jules LaRocca, 7-7 Club.
What are you doing here?
Name's Easton. I was told I was going to be staying here.
We're getting us a better class of people around this joint.
Yeah. Nothing personal, you know. Just stay off of my bunk. That is till you're invited.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, like I say, it's nothing personal. Huh, kid? Huh?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Want to smoke?
No. No, thanks.
Like candy?
No.
Kind of rough on him, weren't you?
Well, it's kind of like a new pipe, you know? You gotta break them in just right. Smoke?
No.
How about a piece of gum, huh?
No.
You know, I'm just trying to be friendly.
I just want to be left alone, okay?
All right, everybody in this cell block to the shower house. Come on, move it.
All right, on to the shower. Let's go.
Easton. Easton. Psst. Come here.
What is it?
It's time, that's what it is.
What are you talking about?
You sweetmeat. You just got yourself a daddy. Now, boys.
Hey, guard!
Welcome to Drummonburg, lover boy.
Come on your feet. Move it.
Leave him alone.
Who's that?
Oh, it's you. I'll take care of him.
Okay, sure. Just get him out of there, that's all.
Hey, kid. It's all right. Just take it easy. Just take it easy. Come on, gotta get out of here. Hey, I know. Come on, get this around here. All right, take it easy. Everything's gonna be fine. What's your name?
Miles. Miles Houston.
Okay, Miles. Everything is gonna be fine. You understand? Everything is gonna be fine and dandy.
I'm not going back to that cell.
Wherever you go, they're gonna be after you. They're gonna hound you like a pack of damn dogs. No let up. And what you need is some protection. Somebody to look after you. Somebody to put a little fear in them.
Who?
You're looking at him. I'll get you moved into my cell, and nobody will touch you. Nobody else. I'll be looking after you. Now that's the system. You go along when you go under. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, let's get out of here.